This is further readings from my well-worn copy of Don Quixote. This has to do with Camacho and Quitería's wedding feast. And a feast it was. So I'm going to read this paragraph to show you what it was like. It says, Sancho obeyed his master, and after putting the saddle on Rocinante and the pack saddle on Dapple, the two mounted and rode leisurely towards the bower of trees. The first object that caught Sancho's eye was a whole ox spitted on a whole elm tree, and in the fire over which it was roasting there was burning a good-sized mountain of faggots and 6 earthenware pots, which stood round the blaze, had not been made in the common mold, for there were 6 half-wine jars, and each could hold a whole slaughterhouse of meat. Whole sheep were swallowed up and hidden in them, as if they had been mere pigeons. Innumerable were the hares already skinned and chickens plucked, which hung on the trees ready for burial in the pots. Innumerable too were the birds and game of divers kind hanging from the branches, that the air might cool them. Sancho counted more than 60 wineskins of more than 8 gallons each, and all filled, as it afterwards turned out, with generous wines. There were also rows of loaves of the whitest bread, like heaps of wheat piled up on the threshing floors. The cheeses, arranged like open brickwork, formed a wall, and 2 cauldrons full of oil bigger than dyers' vats served to fry the pastry, which, when fried, was drawn out with 2 mammoth shovels and plunged into another cauldron of prepared honey that stood nearby. There were more than 50 cooks and cookmaids, all of them clean, busy, and buxom. In the swollen belly of the ox were 12 tender little suckling pigs, which sewed up within gave a delicious flavor to its meat. As to the spices of different kinds, they seemed to have been bought not by the pound, but by the quarter hundredweight, and all lay open to view in a big chest. Indeed, the preparations for the wedding, though in rustic style, were plentiful enough to feed an army. Well, I can tell you, they knew how to eat back then. And you notice in that paragraph, there was no mention of vegetables or salad. Oh, I would have enjoyed being there myself.